Hey guys, this is Sarah Gazy from State 244, and I am going to give you a little video here on how to do Gather Day. Like all the COZ days, it's got its little tricks to how to get the best points. Now, this is an event that you should do not only on your main city, but on all of your farms. Let's face it, your farms are designed to gather resources for you. So this event is like custom built for them. It is the best way to get some quick diamonds and have those on hand to shield your cities on the weekends when there's kill event. Keep your resources for yourself. Okay, so basically there's the 4 resources that we can gather. There's diamonds too, but they don't even count for this. We have food, we have fuel, we have timber, and we have iron. Now, if you look at the COZ thing, wrong one. If you look at the COZ thing, it's going to give you the points for the different resources. I'm going to tell you now, diamonds look awesome. They're not worth it. And for the same reason that you actually want to gather fuel during your gather event, not iron. I know it looks like iron gives you more points. Pardon me claiming my chest right here real quick, but I want to get them out of the way. But yes, iron gives 4 points apiece and fuel gives 2. But fuel gathers at more than 3 times the rate of iron. So you can either get 4 points for 100 iron, which is 400 points, or in the same length of time, you can get 2 points apiece for 400 fuel, which is 800 points. Points-wise, you get a lot more doing fuel. So, that said, during the event, once the event has started, you want to gather fuel. And you can gather food if you want. It gathers just as fast, but whoever really needs food. It's very rare that you'll need food. So, for the sake of argument, we're going to use fuel, because that's what I use. I always gather fuel. Now, that's for during the event, because once that event has started, you have 23 and a half hours before it ends, and you are under a time crunch to get as much as possible in the time allowed. Now, this is an event, though, that you can preload. So I work my APCs up to get them out. Even on my babyest farms, they can gather for a good solid 8 to 12 hours with each APC. My big farms, like the one I'm going to show you here, can gather for well over a day. They're like a day and 10 hours to a day and 4 hours. So they've been out gathering for quite some time already. And that's what you want to do, is you want to preload this event. You want to get your fields built. If it is a KE weekend and you're worried that they will be attacked, scatter them. Put your fields out in the middle of nowhere, one here, one over there, and send your troops to them. Don't worry about the fact that it's maybe a 20 or 30 minute march. That is less important than the fact that they stay on the tile to farm. If they're right by your city and there's a whole bunch of fields they're gathering, they make a lovely little juicy target for somebody who's hunting for kill event points. So if your state has not arranged a truce with the other state that you're not going to hit each other's gatherers, you may want to do the scattered out in the middle of nowhere fields and just take the marching time. That's kind of neither here nor there. That just has to be, that's about like how to keep them gathering. But basically, on Fridays, I have gather event selected for Sunday, but my troops can all gather for over a day. So towards the end of my troop day on Friday, I will drop and dispatch my troops to all fields. And I'm going to send to as many iron fields as I possibly can. And the reason for this is twofold. One, iron is very, very slow. Keeps my troops out there longer. Away from my cities, don't have to worry about it. But also because there is no time crunch. The event hasn't even started yet. So I'm going to make sure that they're not going to come home until an hour or two into gathering day. Because remember, those first 30 minutes, you don't get any points. So if you have your troops all set to come home on gather day, but they come home 5 minutes too early, all those points are wasted. You didn't get points. So you're gonna be like wanting to like strangle yourself. So don't do that to yourself. Don't set yourself up for frustration. Go ahead and make sure that they're gonna come home an hour or two in. Or better yet, if your APCs are big enough, there's a little trick. If you kind of get a late start on it, it's like, oh man, they're gonna gather halfway through my gathering day. There's a little trick I'm gonna show you in just a minute. But for now, the points that you get for each piece are less important than how many pieces you can bring home. And fuel, you just bring home a lot more. Now with this one, as you can see, they've been out there for quite some time already. However, aside from the little tiny one on the bottom, they're not really even close to full. If you check my boosts, I have no boosts running. Now, I am going to pop a gathering speed bonus. The trick with the gathering speed bonus is that it affects troops that are already dispatched as if it was attached to them when they left. So it's going to take and act retroactively upon the gathering that they've already completed. So before you ever put your gathering speed boost on, if your APCs, if even one of them is more than halfway full, you're gonna click your Clash of Zones score first. Because chances are, one or more of your APCs are going to be full and they're gonna come home. And the points for the gathering are awarded when they leave the tile, not when they arrive at your city. So don't make the mistake of going, okay, well I scattered my fields and my troops are 40 minutes from home. So gather day just started and I'm going to recall them now and I've got half an hour before they're gonna be home, in which time I can pop my boost. No, you don't. You need to have that active before they leave that tile. So now that my Clash of Zones score is up, I'm going to use my gather boost. And you're going to see what it does. See this? It actually brought one of my APCs home. That little one filled up and he is now coming home. And all the others have jumped by about 8 to 9 hours, has been removed from their gathering. 10 hours for one of them. So I'm going to call these guys home now. And now all my troops are coming home. And I'm going to go see what I got for points, because I had no points to start with. And that was 57.35 million points. And that's going to give me all of my first 6 chests. My gather day is now done. And I can preload for the gather day that I have selected for tomorrow. So this is very, very simple. Even a small farm can do this. You may have to recall with a boost 2 or 3 times if your APCs can normally only stay out for, 8 or 10 hours. But this is one of those reasons why you do want to build heroes on your farms. You don't necessarily want to worry about what skills they have or anything, because really you just want them to boost your troop count. But you do want heroes on your farms, and you want to get those APCs built up really well so that you can have a really good troop count. For that, I will tell you that if you do not have very many gold heroes, or if the gold heroes that you have cannot be awakened because you have not yet gotten them a second time, then don't necessarily use the gold. Oftentimes a purple that can be awakened will outperform a gold hero who cannot be, especially on a farm. Especially when you think about the number of troops that APC can hold under those heroes. Boom Boy, although he's only a purple, when he's awakened at level 10, his hero has a boost of 10,850. When awakened, that is doubled. So at that point, he will hold more heroes than any of these gold ones will without being awakened. So don't necessarily wait to have your gold heroes and be able to awaken them before you build heroes. Build what you can. Your purples are often a great way to do that. Use them. They have decent skills, and they can get your troop count really high. And they're much easier and faster to build. And when the time comes that you do get a gold hero that you can awaken, at that point, you can always split a purple hero, turn him into a medal, get even more medals by exchanging him, and build the gold hero. You get most of your medals back that you had put into him. But don't necessarily wait. Get your APC count up as high as you can, as fast as you can, and then use that to boost your gathering day. Get your chests, get your awards, get your diamonds. Make sure that your city can always be shielded and kept safe. And that's pretty much it for gathering day. It's not rocket science. Play around with it. I preload always on iron because it keeps my troops out longer, because it's slow to gather. But it really comes down to what can you recall at the beginning of the event, and how many points can you get for what your APCs can hold. And since iron is so slow to gather, all right, so it's not a good thing to gather during the event because it's so slow that it really doesn't give as many points as fuel will. But when you're loading your APCs and they're going to come home full at the beginning of the event, iron will give you more points. It just will. So you just kind of summarize it. You want to preload with as much iron as you can. Call that home at the very beginning of your event and see where you're at. If you've just completed your event, hey, preload on whatever you want. Select gathering day for the next day if possible. For farms, I always select gathering for any day where I get to select my event. I don't restrict them to just doing gathering day on Monday. I do gathering day on Sunday as my selected event. And when we have the COZ, the practice type, where we have no other state as an opponent and it's just us, I always select it for Saturday as well. So keep that in mind, but this is something you should do on every single account. You're going to find that your farms will excel at this particular event. It's what they're built for. They are built to gather and to produce resources. So this event was tailor-made for them. Use it. Don't waste it. Get out there and do it right. It will help you a ton. So that's all. Have a lovely day, guys.